Hey,
Hey,
Westwood
Westwood
Whirlwinds.
Whirlwinds. This is Principal Daniel Burnett here at Westwood Middle School. Mrs. McLeod and I are excited to bring you yet another edition of the Westwood Way podcast. We come to you each and every week. Our podcast covers academic and athletic updates, upcoming events, and important dates and information.
And this week, I'd like to welcome our special guest that we have joining us in our student spotlight. We are shining the light on the two student directors of the upcoming production, Fame Junior. Side note, I was in Fame in high school. Samuel Pickering and Lola Meisenberg. I'd also like to welcome to the program Miss Janine Dupler, GHS's Cambridge coordinator. Last month we had the pleasure of a visit from Gainesville High School's Cambridge program in our algebra and geometry classes. And today we'll have the opportunity to speak with her, and she's going to share some important information about this high school magnet program. In our What's Good in the Woods section, we will be speaking with our theater teacher, Miss Hewitt, who has some exciting updates to share about the recent district competition. But before we get to that, I'm turning it back over to Mr. Burney for important weekly announcements on Principal's Corner.
Thank you, Mrs. McLeod. Remember, magnet applications are open on December the 2nd and close on January the 12th. This is for all magnet programs and our Westwood Cambridge program right here. Our theater program is proudly presenting their production of Fame Junior on December the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. All shows start at 6 p.m. The cost is only $5. What a great bargain. And paid online. They're $10. Okay, I'm sorry.
The
Okay,
price,
all right.
man. Yeah.
I was about to say, you
Sorry
kind of
about
sell
that.
yourself short for
$10.
$5.
Yeah, man.
So $10. That sounds better. $10 online through My School Bucks. The link will be posted in this week's episode description. Our winter food drive is kicking off this week and running through December the 10th. Students are collecting non-perishable goods in their homerooms. Did you know this? Many students in Alachua County rely on free school meals, making the 18-day winter break challenging for some families. We are seeking donations to support them. Last year, we, in conjunction with the Alachua County Public Schools, helped nearly 900 families. And this year, we anticipate the need will be even greater.
I think that weren't we featured in the Gainesville Sun last year for our
Absolutely.
food the raising efforts that we did to help families, and so we want to
Absolutely.
do that again this year.
Very proud of that effort, helping a lot of families. So please make sure to check out the link to the flyer in our description. Last but definitely not least, on Saturday, December the 6th, Westwood is hosting a robotics competition, 8 a.m. in the multi-purpose room.
And those are always great. Those are always good competitions. Very stiff competition.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, before we head over to the student spotlight, we have our guest, Miss Janine Dupler, who is Cambridge coordinator at Gainesville High School, joining us to talk about what makes Cambridge, also known as the ACE program, very unique.
All right. Welcome, Ms. Dupler. We're really excited that you can join us today on our podcast and just talk a little bit about what makes Cambridge, or as some people call it, the ACE program, magnet program at GHS, what makes it so unique?
So the great thing about Cambridge is it's super flexible. So while kids are looking for rigor in their high school experience, it actually is a lot more flexible than people realize when they first join the program. So, obviously there is a lot of rigor in the program because they are taking college level classes when they're taking ACE classes or Cambridge classes. But they also have a lot of flexibility with their course selection. As freshmen and sophomores, sometimes it does not appear as though there's a lot of flexibility because the required courses, which are mainly pre-ACE classes,
Right.
Are required for them. But when they get to high school, they do have 2 elective periods. So that kind of feels like very flexible to them when they are coming from middle school. When they're older and they're accruing more Cambridge credits, they have a lot of flexibility. We have quite a number of credits that they can get out of Group 1, which is a science and math credit that they need for the Cambridge diploma. They can take physics, they can take chemistry, we have biology, marine science, we have environmental management. We also have psychology, which can technically go in Group 1.
Nice.
And so they have a lot of options for their math and science credits. And then they also have a lot of options in humanities, which is in Group 3, which is also a credit that they need for the Cambridge diploma. We have economics. We have history. We have psychology, which could go into Group 1 or Group 3.
Depending on how you choose it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then one of our English classes actually goes in that group as well. This year we just added ACE, or Cambridge Travel and Tourism, which is also in Group 3. So they just have a lot of flexibility in terms of what it is that they need to do to earn the Cambridge diploma. And so there really are no two Cambridge students who have the exact same schedule.
So well, I was going to ask real quick, so because we have referred to it as ACE. So what is the actual ACE stand for? So it's AICE. So what does that stand for?
So ACE stands for the Advanced International Certificate of Education, and it refers specifically to the diploma.
Okay.
Because our kids who are in the magnet program are diploma-seeking students, which means they're full-time, they're seeking the diploma, and the reason that we designate that is because when our students who are in our mainstream program, when they're juniors and seniors, there are certain Cambridge courses that are open to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so our mainstream students, as long as they meet the prerequisites, they can take environmental management, marine science, psychology, economics, travel and tourism. So
and all of these offer like some potential college credit, whether it be a college elective or whether it be like a content area in college. So even students who are not in Cambridge might be at some point able to take Cambridge classes that will offer that credit.
Absolutely.
But the distinguishing factor is all non-Cambridge students aren't under that ACE designation because they're not Cambridge diploma seeking.
Right.
Okay.
So they can take, it's kind of like an a la carte thing. They can take a couple classes here and there. We have some mainstream seniors who kind of load up on Cambridge classes because I think by the time they get to be seniors, they're starting to realize the importance of getting those college credits, and they have built the confidence and the skills to take those classes. The most common one is called ACE General Paper, and it's an English class, and we've got like a 75% pass rate for our mainstream students who are seniors who take the ACE General Paper course and then the exam at the end of the year.
Nice.
So there's just a lot of opportunity that the Cambridge coursework gives our students, whether they're full-time or part-time Cambridge students.
So, so I know you mentioned that there is some flexibility. So, for instance, can students sort of, I'm going to call this dual certify or dual, because there's the AHP magnet there as well. The band program is wonderful over there, spectacular over at GHS. Trying to think what else is over there. AFT, the future teachers. So can students do both?
Yeah, we do have a number of students who are in the Cambridge program who do another one of our magnets, and those other two magnets, AHP, or the Academy of Health Professions, and AFT, the Academy of Future Teachers, those are considered career technical magnets. But we do have quite a few Cambridge students who do who also do another one of those. So a student in Cambridge who also does AHP, or a student in Cambridge who also does AFT, and those classes would fulfill an elective requirement, so they do that during one of their elective periods.
Gotcha. Okay, so it is possible to do something else and work on something else at the same time that you might be doing. Now, how does dual enrollment work if you are a Cambridge diploma seeker? Is that something that's possible? Is there an alternative way to do it?
That's a little bit trickier because ultimately our diploma seeking students, our full-time magnet students, want to get the Cambridge diploma. That's kind of what we're working with them on. And the reason that we want them to get the Cambridge diploma and the reason they want to get the Cambridge diploma is because it's an automatic qualifier for the Bright Future Scholarship.
Right.
Which gives them free tuition at any public university in the state of Florida. So if they're dual enrolled, it's possible to get the Cambridge diploma, but they have to plan really carefully and really seek counseling about that. Use me as an advisor in that situation so that we can make sure that they're on track to get the Cambridge diploma if they're moving in that direction. So there's a lot of coursework that is at the college level here through ACE or Cambridge and AP. And so it's oftentimes not necessary for our students to go to Santa Fe or UF to get college credits and to get the rigor of a college course. A lot of times the kids who do it successfully are doing it because maybe they've maxed out in a particular content at GHS. So for example, a kid who comes to us and is enrolled in Algebra 2 as a freshman, or even ACE Math, maybe they've finished Algebra 2 by the time they start their freshman year, then they're going to max out in math. Like, there's going to get a point where we don't have a math class to offer them here, and they oftentimes would go to UF to do some higher level calculus class or something.
Okay.
Occasionally we have kids who will max out in physics because they start physics as freshmen. They do Physics 1, ACE Physics 1, ACE Physics 2, and then junior year they do AP Physics, and then senior year it's kind of like, I really love physics, but I've done all the physics
that you have to offer.
All the physics that we have to offer.
So there are some special cases and things like that, student by student,
where they can do that.
You're looking at that. Okay.
Right,
well, okay.
Right.
Because some people may have questions about that.
Yeah.
And so the magnet applications open December 2nd, and I think all your shadowing days have already been filled. You just had one, and then you have another one coming up where actually our Westwood
We have another one on December 2nd, and that is the day for Westwood students. It is not full yet, but it is quickly filling up.
Quickly filling up, okay.
So the parents should definitely enroll them sooner rather than later, because I'm going to run out of spots here, and I think I have maybe like 20-some spots left.
Okay, so that's not a whole lot. Okay.
26 spots. I've got 26 spots.
Okay. And so they'll be able to walk through kind of like a little bit of a day of Cambridge, see what the classes look like.
Yeah, we kind of do an abbreviated day where I send them to 6 different classroom snapshots. And they have juniors and seniors who lead them around campus in groups of up to 10. And they stay here for lunch. We give them pizza, and they see a lot of their friends from middle school, and then they also meet a lot of people from the other visiting schools on that day.
Nice. Well, that's going to be a great opportunity. And I heard your last one went really well. That just happened earlier this week, and the kids seem to really enjoy that. And I know anytime a student gets an opportunity to walk on another campus and kind of look to see like what that day is like, high school day is like, in that magnet program that they're interested in, that can really solidify the choice that they're thinking about making. So that's really great that you're offering.
I was actually thinking of the same word when you were going through that sentence.
I was like, what's the word? Yes, solidify.
The word is solidify, and I feel like they really need to come to the campus to make a decision about whether or not this is the place where they need to be when they're in high school. And I think if they're thinking about an academic magnet, then they definitely need to come to GHS and go to the East Side Shadow Days or Preview Days, because they're going to feel a vibe one place or the other.
Right.
And that's really the only way to know for sure.
Right. And IB and Cambridge are unique in their own different ways. And also, like you said, the campus feel, if you're like, I really like what's over here versus what's over here. So absolutely going to those shadow days are critical. So the magnet application date actually opens December 2nd, and then it closes January 12th. That's correct?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And the students and the families will apply on the magnet webpage of the School Board of Alachua County website. So they don't apply directly through GHS.
Okay, so don't send you a lot of emails applying for the Cambridge program.
Right. Those questions all go to the county office, because usually when people email me about that and they have questions, I'm just forwarding them down to the county office. Well, I don't want to misinform anybody if they've changed, a little rule or requirement or something.
Oh, sorry. Go.
So another thing that I want to add that's super important, especially for Westwood students, is that you have to apply to be in the Cambridge program. Even if you are already in a magnet program, students at Westwood who are in the Cambridge program need to apply for the Cambridge program at Gainesville High School. It is not an automatic transition from Westwood to GHS.
And I think that's even true for Lyceum. I don't think that's an automatic transition. I think you also have to apply for so whatever magnet program your student might be currently in, that's not a guarantee that you're going to get automatically enrolled in a high school magnet program. So that's a good point Ms. Dupler just brought up, is make sure that you're just enrolling, just make sure that you're applying for it. Whichever one you want. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Dupler. That's a good point to make. And we definitely appreciate you joining us today and sharing all the wonderful things that make Cambridge at GHS unique.
Yeah, well, thanks for calling.
And now over to Mrs. McLeod for our student spotlight.
All right, as I mentioned earlier today, we are going to be featuring our two famed junior co-directors, Miss Lola Meisenberg and Samuel Pickering. I got to tell you right now, Lola is like super excited. Samuel's, I'm going to say mildly excited to be on the podcast, but welcome guys. And really, we'd love to take a few minutes to talk about this upcoming performance that you all have been working so hard on. So whoever wants to start first, just talk about the effort, how things are going, what people that are coming to the performance can look for. There better be some dancing in this.
There is a lot of dancing. It's been pretty difficult to get this performance to go through. It's a difficult show. It's a musical. And casting was hard in general because you never know who to put where. But still, I think we have amazing talent everywhere in all of our positions and that it's going to be a great show.
Yeah. Lola, what do you have to add as co-director?
I think that the actors that we have gathered here on the stage have been working very hard to reach their goal of a great musical, and I think that they will perform beyond amazingly at the show and on the big nights that we hold them.
All right. So I have a quick question. So just your opinions, what do you think is more difficult, working on stage or working kind of behind the scenes?
I'd say they're pretty equal.
Okay.
What do you think makes them somewhat equal? So what's challenging about both of them?
Backstage, you have to understand the technologies that you're trying to use. Sound is difficult. The lights, you have to put them all at the right spots at the right times. Meanwhile, on stage, you have to hit the right notes. You have to be in the right places, also at the right times. It's a lot of stress for both sides, but they still get it done.
And then Lola, have you been in any productions here?
I was in Seussical last year.
All right, what'd you play?
I had 3 roles. I was the head artist, so I made the sets.
Nice.
I was a bird girl for 3 nights, and I was Mrs. Mayor, like a speaking role, got a microphone and everything for 1 night.
And then Samuel, what have you been in?
I was Horton the Elephant in Seussical Jr.
Horton the Elephant. That's such a fun role. You got to wear the whole elephant.
And be depressed for an hour.
Oh man, that was so cute though. That was such a great part. And then what made you guys want to take on the responsibility? Because directing is a big chore. It's a lot to do. What made you guys want to take on the responsibility? Either one of you.
I have always wanted to help people and make sure that everyone in my community was like okay. And so I saw this as a great opportunity to help the others around me and help out the people that I care about and love.
To be honest, I still wanted to be a part of theater, but I did not want to sing again.
Your one time with Horton
Yes.
kind of said, we're done with that.
I can relate to that. I remember growing up in church. I actually learned how to play the bass guitar in lieu of having to sing in the choir. So nothing against singing, but that was my favorite thing to do. So I was told you have to do something. But so I can respect that. One thing I can say that you guys do a phenomenal job, and I love how Mrs. Hewitt sets up the programs where these things are student-led. They're obviously adult facilitated, but you guys have a big leadership role in this, which is, I know for a fact, is preparing you for the future to be great leaders.
Yeah, so we look forward to it. So tell us one more time the dates of Fame Junior and how much it costs and where they can find information on buying the tickets.
It's $10 on December 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and you can find information
Was it
probably
My School Bucks?
everywhere at this point.
Yeah,
And-
myschoolbucks.com. Go ahead.
And the times are 6 p.m.
All right, all 3 nights. Well, we're excited to do that again. I was in Fame when I was in high school. It wasn't the junior production of it, and I was one part where I was a dancer throughout the whole thing, and then I was also a bad audition, partially because of the singing. So it'll be really nice to see this production. We are looking forward to it. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Of course.
And now back over to Mr. Burney for What's Good at the Wood.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. McLeod. We are right here with Mrs. Hewitt, our musical theater teacher. All right, we have her here to talk about the District Theater Programs, Awards, and Fame, and the upcoming state competition, which is really, really exciting. We were kind of talking about that earlier. Looking forward to being in Orlando for 3 days. So
Yeah.
welcome, Mrs. Hewitt. Tell us a little bit more about the program and some great things going on.
I say it sounds like you got some good pieces going with you to compete at state. Talk with us about that.
Excuse me. Thank you, guys. So we just competed at our district competition. There's a number of districts. We're district number 1, so all of the schools in the district go to some site. This year it was in Jacksonville at Jacksonville State College. They competed. You can earn a superior, excellent, good, or fair rating, and I am extremely proud to say we earned 7 superiors, one of which was considered for top honors, which is like big. They get to perform at state and at the closing ceremonies of districts, so really excited about that. Some of those superior pieces are Garrison Dodds for his rendition of Confrontation from Jekyll and Hyde, where Jekyll is fighting Hyde, and he received one of the highest scores. Anique Williams was another one who received another high score for her solo for Waiting for Life from Once on This Island. And they actually performed a duet, Suddenly Seymour, and also received a superior. And then we have Kylie Isaac, who is a 7th grader this year, who also received a superior for her solo musical piece, Fools Fall in Love. And we had a pantomime called Fishing for Trouble that also won superior.
And you and I were talking about that a little bit earlier about how hard a pantomime is. And
Yes.
even like Daniel and Lola were kind of chiming in on that, because it's either the pantomime is really, really good or it's just really not. And there's almost no in between. So to win superior on that, that's an accomplishment.
Yes, and the last 2 superiors were both ensemble acting scenes, one of which was from Alice in Wonderland, and another one of which was from a play I'd never heard of called #Viral. You can imagine what that would be about. And the kids did very well on their performances, and we also received 12 excellents. And our 12 excellents, I'm not going to go down the list because there's a lot of them, but all of our students they got all really high scores, about probably like close to superior on a couple of the pieces, and then mid to high excellence. We did not receive any goods or fairs, which I'm extremely proud of them for. So yeah, the district competition was a lot of fun. Like you guys mentioned before, we have state coming up in February, and those 7 superiors get to compete against everybody in Florida.
Wow, yeah.
And that's always so much fun. They'll have workshops, they'll have shows they get to go see, closing ceremonies. And I don't know if I'm allowed to announce the main stage that made it, but we were happy to see we got a main stage performance in our district that gets to perform. So that's
cool.
Extremely
I
exciting.
kind of want to do like a little round of applause and just be like, yay, go guys, go us.
They've been working so hard.
And I can tell you when you did the performances here at the school, the last event, that Suddenly Seymour performance, I was sitting in the back on the back table, and I was sitting next to some parents, and it was like a standing ovation, obviously, and I think I said wow like 5 times.
And who did the duet?
Anique Williams and Garrison Dodds.
Wow.
So they obviously everyone did great. That was one performance that stuck out, and the parents were laughing like, Mr. Byrne, you said wow like 5 times. So
I just added another wow.
they did a phenomenal job. So really proud of all the students and all your hard work. And I remember Horton last year did a great job, man. I'm telling you. I mean, it was really good. So it's just a great thing to see the things that's going on in musical theater.
Yeah, so we definitely appreciate all your hard work with the students, including the students, like we said, student directing, guiding the students with their different pieces that they're preparing. So all the superiors will go and participate, and that's coming up in February. And then we have Fame coming up this week, but just real quick, put a little teaser out there. Do we have anything coming up in the spring?
So we are actually between 2 shows for the spring. One of them is Beetlejuice Jr., and the other is The Olympians, which is a brand new musical that just came out this school year. And it's
Percy Jackson?
No, actually. So the premise of Olympians is Athena, Aphrodite, and Artemis are tired of the fact that the patriarchy is reigning supreme.
Word.
So they put a bet together. They bet each other to see if a kind and compassionate heart, strong mind, or a fighting spirit, which one can change the world. Just to know that at the end of the show, everybody has to work together to change the world for the betterment of society and everything.
Nice. Okay, so how are you guys deciding?
We're reading through The Olympians in class. Personally, I love The Olympians because it's got songs that I grew up with, and I'm sure many people have grown up with, such as One Way or Another, Hit the Ground Running, The Climb, which apparently is an oldie now, which, okay.
Oh, all right, Miley
So
Cyrus.
we're between both of those. And then as for Beetlejuice, it's based around the movie, essentially, and it's got less characters in it, but we're talking about it in class in my advanced theater class, and we're going to decide as a group which one will be the best option for us. But I'm leaning towards the Olympians.
Well, we're excited to see which one you choose and see how that goes. So thank you so much for joining us and everything for What's Good at the Wood.
Okay. So today's podcast has been full of fantastic information and special guests. I know our listeners were able to find something specifically for them. There are so many great things happening at Westwood, and we will continue to invite weekly guest speakers to ensure that all the word gets out. Whirlwinds, always remember, we're very proud of you and we care about you deeply. You are why we come to work each and every day. So until next time, I'm Mr. Bernie.
This is Miss McLeod for the
the
Westwood Way.